Lurking on a Monday morning. Good morning and welcome back. Thank you so very much for waking up with us this morning and every morning. We're here with you 6 until 8. Please do tune in, turn on, log on, listen in, and always do remember to spread the word. Good morning to everybody waking up this morning celebrating their special birthday or their anniversary. And if you're just happy to be alive and grateful, thank you. Good morning to all the persons who have been severely affected by Hurricane Melissa. We send you love. Help is on the way. More of us are coming out, and we are definitely going to be there to hold your hand and help you rebuild. Now, just days ago, as we know, Melissa tore through our rural parishes, and of course which was severely hit was the breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth, leaving communities submerged, roads blocked, and homes in ruins. Now, this morning, we sit down with Shavina. She's a resident of Ridge in Junction, St. Elizabeth, and though her own family escaped the worst of it, she speaks on behalf of her neighbors with an urgent appeal for help and a plea to rebuild. Good morning, Shev. Good morning, and how are you?
Good morning. Good to be here. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine myself. Yeah.
And your family?
My family, okay as well. I have an aunt who lost a few sheets of zinc from her kitchen, but, you know, rooms and so were okay. Extended family do. I have a cousin who actually lost an entire roof, a second year in a row because they lost the roof last year.
In burial?
In burial, right.
So were you in Ridge?
I was in Ridge.
At the time of the hurricane?
Yes, I was.
Walk us through that experience.
So, on Monday, we had a lot of wind and rain, but it wasn't so bad. Monday night got a little more intense, but Tuesday morning when we woke up, we basically woke up to very strong winds, a lot of rain, and we're like, okay, the hurricane is here. At that time, however, they were still quoting how many miles at sea the eye of the storm was, and then it kept on getting more intense. As the morning progressed, the pressure inside the house built up so much, so even in your ear, it felt like an airplane taking off, the way the pressure was inside the house. We were fortunate enough to have family members with us who stayed with us throughout the storm. And some persons had headache because of the pressure. So at one point, I started to worry, thinking some of the windows would actually explode or something, you know, because we were able to use plyboards and batten up some of the windows. So we secured the bedrooms and the kitchen, but we can't batten up everywhere.
Right.
It's a lot of money for plyboards. So we just had to hope and pray and go with God on some of the other windows in the house. So we were able to look outside and watch the storm the whole time because, of course, it was during the day. I don't know if that's a mistake we made because looking at what was happening outside, the trees falling over, I don't have a garage for my car, and at one point I thought the car was going to turn over. I have seen many containers blown far right. Yeah. So I was concerned at one point, and I'm like, boy, if something go wrong with the car, how do I get to work? I don't have the money to fix it. And it's going to be hectic with insurance. I was a little bit concerned about that, but I was grateful enough. We missed the worst of it. So trees came down, but by the next morning, to be honest, my uncles were out, family, you know, started cutting up the trees with power saws, and our roads were cleared in short space of time. But the fear, I think somewhat of a trauma lingers from the experience during the storm, just not knowing what is going to happen, just constantly worried, even in my bedroom. At what point, so much water was coming in through the windows that I couldn't keep up with the mop anymore. We started using, Mom and I, we started using the dustbin to scoop up water and pour it into buckets, and we carried buckets out until I just gave up.
Did that ever happen with any hurricane before?
No, water came in, but it's
not manageable.
Right, you could use a mop, you could, right, it was manageable, but this, it was so much water.
Is Ridge like along the coastline, or is it more inland?
We're more inland, and fortunately we're on the hills. Well, what that does is that usually we get a lot of wind because we're on the hill, but we don't have the risk of flooding. So that's a plus for us.
And is your experience the general experience of the community on a whole, or were some parts more affected, some parts less affected?
that brings me to the next morning. The fear, the guilt, just so much emotions the next morning. My house was spared the worst and my immediate family around. There are many roofs in the community, however, that are gone, entire roofs, partially. Some persons, up to at least half the house is torn off. So within my little community alone, there are over 30 houses without roofs. And
Right now?
Right now, without roofs, on the morning after. Because, you know, people come out and they start walking.
Yeah.
I tried, however, to go to Black River the next morning. I've been the Wednesday morning. And that's when I realized, as bad as my community was,
Shell-shocked.
it was perfect in comparison. The roads going down from Southfield, going down towards Southfield to Watchwell side of the island, heading into Black River, and those communities, some trenches are in the roads, like they're very deep. I mean, community persons know, you know, started filling back some of the debris in the trenches so that you could drive. But the morning directly after, we're driving a lot in the banks. And it's down to a single lane for the most part because of the damage. Some areas where the road itself wasn't completely dug up, there was so much debris washed onto the roadways. It was a lot of mud to travel through. And then eventually I couldn't get to Black River either. I had to turn back because
The road's blocked.
they are blocked. Trees
Trees,
are
power
down,
lines, yeah.
And one of the worst part was the flooding.
Yeah.
I saw houses that were still underwater up to the windows, and that is from where I stood on the road. As the houses went further back, you could see they're more submerged, and it was really heartrending to look at. And that was just looking at what I still thought wasn't the worst of it. The days progressed, and then we don't have any signal.
Yeah.
And that was another struggle. So many persons couldn't hear from their family and friends in St. Elizabeth, and I think that is where the struggle really was. You don't know what is happening. So I started, since I could move around somewhat in the Junction region, for people who can't get to their family, some people don't have the means to charge their phones. My phones were charged. I have a nice little bank that I use solar to charge them, so I can charge phones for my family and friends. But I would drive around now to check on friends and other loved ones and family. And then there was one little spot in my community that I call the phone booth, because there is signal there.
Yes,
like, strangely,
everybody runs there.
Right, everybody.
To pick up signal.
Right, so, you know, we could go out, check on family and friends, and then I come back to my little phone booth and can send messages to say the family's okay.
This person is okay, this person is doing well.
That's so nice of you, though.
Well, I had to do something, and the roads are blocked elsewhere, so might as well.
This is the best.
We traverse within our little area.
So what would you say, Shavina, is the greatest need now? And persons who are watching this morning, how can they contact you, or how can they help? What do the people of Ridge and its environs, what are the greatest needs right now?
The people of Ridge need help with rebuilding their roofs.
Yeah.
That is the greatest need. I do not believe we're faced with the hunger and the thirst, right? So that's for Ridge in my community. We need roofs. I eventually got to Black River, and this is the most heartrending part of it. The people in Black River need water.
Yeah.
I know persons will donate cases of water for drinking purposes.
What to bathe.
But people need water to bathe.
Yeah.
Right? I spoke to some persons individually, and then a lot of the contribution that would come, they stop in the, in the major thoroughfare or within the town areas. But one of the most pressing issues are persons who are at home and ill.
Yeah.
They can't come to get the aid. So for aid that doesn't actually go into the lanes, into the schemes and the homes.
Persons who are disabled.
Right, those persons miss out. You find when you're driving into Black River, people are on the roads just holding out their hands, anything, and last week, Monday, these people were like you and I. They
Yeah.
were driving to work. They were showing up. They were contributing to the economy. They were doing all of this in a normal fashion. And a week later, well, a day after, they're beggars, right? So you know these people were not beggars naturally. But that is what they're doing now. Just holding out their hands when you drive past, just asking for anything. I went home, and when I told Mommy about it that first day when I got to Black River, and I'm like, Mommy, people need water. I have water in abundance, right? So we have 2 ground tanks, and then I have a black drum that we pumped water into to fill up before the electricity went. So I'm okay for water, right? So what we did was to, well, my mother, God bless her soul, she walked around the community and she asked people for their water bottles, like the gallons that you can hold, the little, right, and their 5 gallons that they would bring for water refill, and they contributed their bottles. Yesterday morning when I woke up, my mother had a full wash bottle operation going. My grandmother was washing bottles, my aunts, cousins, even the kids in the yard, they were washing bottles and, you know, rinsing them so we could fill them with water, because people needed to bathe, people needed to cook. And I think outside of the water that they need, I think what Black River and other areas that are so severely affected need is a food kitchen. So many persons haven't had a hot meal since the storm. They need something warm, even if it's a soup kitchen, just a pot of soup so they can get a cup of soup that is hot. Some persons, you provide rice, you'll provide food for them to cook, but they don't have the water to cook it. They don't have the water to clean the kitchen. So there's not enough water.
They don't even have a kitchen, Shavina.
Right, they don't have a kitchen. You pass, people are cooking outside, right? And I'm not saying anything is wrong with cooking outside on your wood
No, cooking
fire,
outside by choice,
right?
And cooking outside by force
is different.
are 2 different things.
Exactly. Right? They don't have, so they don't have water to clean up their environment. So where are they going to cook? In an unhygienic situation. And for all the videos and the pictures that you will see, nothing does justice to the stench that sits in Black River. It's unbelievable. And when I commented on it, I'm like, my God, the place smells so terrible. Persons will say, but it doesn't smell bad yet. Wait until the animals start decaying. And they're expecting that after the decay gets worse, and I cannot imagine what worse is. I don't know how to imagine that. So my thing is, where are they going to cook? And I'm not saying we don't want to contribute food that they can cook, because some people may be able to. Some people still have roofs, but the majority, when you drive through the communities, it's a rubble.
But that's why we have to talk to people like you who are on the ground, who are there, because we are so far removed, so to speak. We are just doing what we think, you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, get some canned goods.
Tin food.
Yeah, get some rice. But then it's like,
water. And thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Wishing all the best.
Thank you so much.
God bless you and your family. Thank you so much.
That was Shavina Hay. Shavina Hay,
No,
resident of... Shavina, gone, Shavina, come on over, see to us. We're not done with it. That was Shavina Hay, resident of Ridge in Junction City.
Like, I gotta go.
Shavina said, I need to go
to Ridge.
and help
I gotta
some
go,
people.
Anita. I
bring
can't.
some water.
I gotta bring some water. I gotta get the kegs.
I need to get off of this couch. No, there's more Sunrise on the flip side. You're ready, Shavina?